Ports are the bustling gateways of our interconnected world. They are the lifelines that keep the global economy moving, ensuring that goods and commodities reach their destinations efficiently and on time. Imagine giant harbors where massive ships dock, bringing goods from every corner of the globe. These harbors are like the beating hearts of international trade, pumping life into economies by facilitating the flow of goods. These ships carry everything you can imagine: clothes, electronics, food, and even the car you drive. Each container holds a story of production, transportation, and consumption, connecting distant lands and cultures. Ports act as vital hubs, connecting producers and consumers across vast distances. They are the nodes in a complex network that ensures the seamless movement of goods, from raw materials to finished products. Without ports, global trade would grind to a halt. The absence of these crucial infrastructures would disrupt supply chains, leading to shortages and economic instability. Our modern way of life, with its abundance of choices and access to goods from around the world, depends on the smooth operation of these maritime gateways. From the food we eat to the gadgets we use, ports play an indispensable role in our daily lives. Think about the coffee you drink every morning. The journey of those beans is a testament to the intricate logistics and coordination involved in global trade. Chances are the beans were grown in South America, shipped across the ocean in a container ship, and arrived at your local store thanks to a network of ports and transportation systems. This journey involves multiple stages, each meticulously planned and executed. Or consider the smartphone in your pocket. Its journey is even more complex, involving numerous countries and countless components. Its components were likely manufactured in different countries, assembled elsewhere, and then shipped globally, all facilitated by ports. This intricate dance of logistics ensures that the final product reaches your hands, ready to be used. The next time you enjoy a chocolate bar or purchase a new book, remember the crucial role ports play in bringing those products to you. Each item on the shelves of your local store has a story that spans continents, and ports are the unsung heroes of these stories. Ports are not just places where ships dock, they are dynamic environments where the world comes together. They symbolize the interconnectedness of our global community and the shared efforts that make our modern lives possible. As the world continues to evolve, the importance of ports will only grow. They will remain at the forefront of global trade, adapting to new challenges and opportunities and ensuring that the wheels of commerce keep turning. So the next time you see a container ship or visit a port, take a moment to appreciate the incredible infrastructure and the people who work tirelessly to keep the global economy moving. Ports are the unsung heroes of our interconnected world, and their importance cannot be overstated. As vital as they are, ports are vulnerable to disruptions, and one of the most powerful forces that can bring them to a standstill is Mother Nature. Hurricanes, typhoons, earthquakes, and tsunamis can cause catastrophic damage to port infrastructure, rendering them inoperable for extended periods. These natural disasters can strike with little warning, leaving ports scrambling to mitigate the damage and resume operations. These natural disasters can damage cranes, loading docks, and storage facilities, disrupting the flow of goods and causing significant economic losses. The impact is not just local, it can have far-reaching consequences on global trade and supply chains. For instance, in 2012, Hurricane Sandy, one of the deadliest and costliest hurricanes in US history, caused widespread damage along the East Coast, including major disruptions to the port of New York and New Jersey. The port, a critical hub for international trade, faced unprecedented challenges. The storm surge flooded terminals, damaged equipment, and halted operations for days, leading to billions of dollars in economic losses and supply chain disruptions that rippled across the country. The aftermath of such events often requires extensive recovery efforts, including repairs, rebuilding, and implementing new safety measures to prevent future damage. Similarly, in 2011, the earthquake and tsunami that struck Japan severely damaged the port of Tokyo, one of the busiest ports in the world, causing major disruptions to global supply chains for automobiles, electronics, and other goods. The disaster highlighted the vulnerability of even the most advanced port facilities to natural calamities. In the wake of such disasters, emergency response teams work tirelessly to assess the damage and begin the rebuilding process. ports must invest in resilient infrastructure and disaster preparedness plans to minimize the impact of future events. Advanced weather monitoring systems and regular training for port staff are crucial in enhancing preparedness. By staying vigilant and proactive, ports can better withstand the forces of nature and ensure the continuity of global trade. Ultimately, the resilience of ports in the face of natural disasters is vital for maintaining the flow of goods and services that drive the global economy. As climate change continues to increase the frequency and severity of such events, the importance of robust disaster preparedness and response strategies cannot be overstated. While natural disasters pose a visible and immediate threat to ports, with their destructive force often leaving a trail of visible damage, pandemics like the COVID-19 outbreak present a different kind of challenge, an invisible enemy that can disrupt global trade in profound ways. Unlike natural disasters, which are often localized, pandemics have a global reach, affecting multiple regions simultaneously and for extended periods. Pandemics can lead to port closures and restrictions as authorities try to contain the spread of the virus. These measures, while necessary for public health, can severely impact the flow of goods. Ports are critical nodes in the global supply chain, and their closure can create significant delays and backlogs. Outbreaks can also result in labor shortages as port workers fall ill or are quarantined, slowing down operations and creating bottlenecks in the supply chain. The reduced workforce means that even when ports remain open, their efficiency is compromised, leading to longer processing times and increased congestion. The COVID-19 pandemic, for example, led to widespread port closures, shipping delays, and container shortages. These disruptions were not just limited to the ports themselves, but extended to the entire logistics network, affecting trucking, rail, and air freight services, disrupting global trade flows and highlighting the vulnerability of just-in-time supply chains. The just-in-time model, which relies on the timely delivery of goods to minimize inventory costs, was particularly hard hit. The delays and uncertainties caused by the pandemic exposed the fragility of this system. The pandemic's impact on consumer behavior, with people buying more goods online and reducing spending on services, further strained the system. The surge in e-commerce led to increased demand for shipping and delivery services, which were already under pressure due to the disruptions at ports. The ripple effects were felt worldwide, with businesses facing delays, shortages, and increased costs. Manufacturers struggled to obtain raw materials and components, leading to production slowdowns and, in some cases, temporary shutdowns. Retailers faced empty shelves and had to navigate the challenges of restocking amid ongoing disruptions, ultimately impacting consumers through higher prices and limited product availability. The increased costs of shipping and logistics were often passed on to consumers who found themselves paying more for goods that were less readily available. The pandemic underscored the interconnectedness of global trade and the far-reaching consequences of disruptions in the supply chain. The human factor labor disputes and their role in port closures. Beyond natural disasters and pandemics, human actions can also lead to port closures and disruptions. Labor disputes, often arising from disagreements over wages, benefits, and working conditions, can bring port operations to a standstill. Strikes by dock workers, tugboat operators, and other essential personnel can halt the loading and unloading of ships, creating a backlog of cargo and delaying shipments. In 2014, a labor dispute at ports along the west coast of the United States, including the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, caused major disruptions to global trade. The 9-month-long dispute between dock workers and shipping companies led to significant cargo backlogs, delayed shipments, and billions of dollars in economic losses. The situation highlighted the delicate balance between labor rights, business interests, and the smooth functioning of global supply chains. Political tides, how geopolitics can lead to port disruptions. Political instability, conflicts, and geopolitical tensions can also disrupt port operations and impact global trade. Governments may impose trade embargoes, sanctions, or blockades on other countries, restricting the movement of goods through ports. In extreme cases, wars or civil unrest can lead to port closures, damaging infrastructure and disrupting shipping routes. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine, for example, has had a significant impact on global shipping and trade. The Black Sea, home to several major Ukrainian ports, has become a war zone, disrupting the export of grain, sunflower oil, and other essential commodities. The conflict has also led to sanctions and trade restrictions, further disrupting global supply chains and contributing to food insecurity in some regions. This situation exemplifies how geopolitical events can have far-reaching consequences for global trade and the interconnectedness of our world. Thank you for watching, and make sure you drop a like and comment what you think about the United States' current port closure situation.